Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. I've got my mic set up. Uh, if someone would in the comments, real quick, just say if you hear me or not, that'd be awesome. It's the first time I've used the mics with my MacBook here, so no sound. Okay, thank you, Matt or Bonnie. So I guess my mics weren't working. Thank you for letting me know. Hopefully now you can hear me and we'll get going with this. Um, Terry should be joining me, my wife, here in just a little bit to help me keep up with questions. Like I've always said, I'm a totally open book. You have any questions, just ask. So we're getting people tuning in now. We're up to 6. I'll take it. We got Matt and Mike and Bonnie and Marlene. Those are the ones I see on my screen anyway. The live part is a little bit new to me, so I'm still trying to get figured out where to post everything and whatnot. So just give me a little bit of time. I'll get it all fixed and figured out. Um, like I said, this is completely new. So thank you. I have everything working out perfect. I'm glad you guys can hear me now. I'll have to get my mics figured out. I like to make sure that everybody has a good, clear sound on their side. So, like I said in the past, in my past videos, fighting stage 3 rectal cancer. I did go the traditional path originally with the chemotherapy and the radiation. Turn that down. And that there was rough. There was times I didn't know if I'd make it or not, but you know, I did it, and we got out of it clear. And then 6 months later, they say I have cancer still there. That's what led me to, well, first fear did instill in me, and I did get a little bit concerned and decide that I was going to do the surgery, but I was quickly reminded that I did want to try something a little bit different. The Fenbendazole was always on the back of my mind, and so I definitely, that's what I'm doing now. Hopefully everybody got to see my last video about the CEA. The CEA, that really encouraged me quite a bit the other day when I got those results. That was great. Of course, now next week, or not next week, but on the 4th of March, we'll get the rest of the story, obviously. So that's quick rundown. I'm feeling great right now. I lost a little bit of weight, but I do believe that to be body fat. Being that I'm now sugar free and carb free to try to combat the cancer even more, I'm bound to lose fat. I don't feel strength going away or anything like that. So, the couple pounds that I've lost, I'm okay with. My wife has actually started to do the no carb and no sugar as well, and she's actually lost, I think, somewhere around 5 pounds as well. And she's just doing it mainly for um, losing a little bit of weight after she had her thyroid removed, uh, and not only lose a little bit of weight, but support me a little bit as well. I'm guessing. So what questions do you guys have? What can I share with you that I haven't said, or whatnot like that? Tell me what you'd like to know. That's what I want to do. I like I said, I'm a completely open book. I don't hide nothing. I don't know if I'm not smart enough to not hide nothing or what, but that's just me. So shoot those questions across. I'm not seeing any yet, so I'll keep talking. Okay. Thank you, Matt. How did I find the CBG to have a positive effect on my mood and anxiety? So CBG, I do THC. I don't do it as much as I have in the past, but I do THC as well. So CBG has a different effect on me. CBG has a kind of like an enlightening effect, but I think that I've taken it so long now, and because I did take that during the traditional cancer treatment as well. When I first started taking it, you could feel the uplifting, the euphoric feel, and stuff like that. Um, I don't know if it helps with anxiety and mood for me, but I do believe it to be doing something to cancer for sure. Um, so that's kind of where I go with that. Uh, another thing I've got to say about THC and um, CBG. If your body needs it, you're not going to feel a high effect. People overuse stuff, and even in just traditional or pharmaceutical medicines, if you're feeling a high effect, you probably don't need it. If you're not feeling the high effect and you're still feeling pain, you probably need something. That's just part of listening to your body, of course, in my opinion. The fenbendazole jelly, um, I found out about that. That was kind of a very interesting way. When I started chemotherapy and I started letting people know what was going on with me and why I was, you know, moping around, whatever, and people started mentioning fenbendazole. The first few times I actually heard about it, honestly, I thought it was just BS. I brushed it off. The second time I heard about it, same thing. After about the 10th time, that's when it really super piqued my curiosity. That's when I started to ask my nurse oncologist about it. Um, and, I still finished my radiation and everything, even though it dang near put me in the hospital. But the more I heard about it, the more it intrigued me. You just got to take things as a sign sometimes. And that's one of those things that I took as a sign. I told my wife, I said, if this ever comes back, that's what I want to try. And that's what I'm doing now, of course. Um, it did take a little bit of guidance from a friend of mine on Facebook to put me back on that path. I definitely lost track of it with the fear of everything they instilled on me. You got to watch that fear level. And I truly believe that the oncologist and the doctors, they definitely bestow fear on you just to get to where they can treat you the way they need to. Um, Let me see what we got here from Maddie. Next, I can't say the word. Is a drug with good results for tumor growth. Did anyone mention? No, nobody ever mentioned the naltrexone. Um, I've never heard of that one yet, but that's definitely a first one that I've heard. So, I can look into it, but I'm trying to keep my list of what I use to the very minimum that I can. I don't want to cloud it up with extra stuff. If I put too many things in it, we won't know if fenbendazole is really the thing. And I mean, as it is, I've already got too many things I think to narrow down to just fenbendazole. But my original research is with the CBG, put that as a forerunner, and the fenbendazole comes in behind it for me, honestly. I'm taking the 2 grams of fenbendazole now daily, with a total of 1.86 grams of CBG. Now, my CBG is not your normal CBG. You're not going to go find this necessarily in a dispensary or a CBD store. This stuff is basically an RSO that, I mean, this stuff, it's in a syringe and it takes a lot to squeeze it out into the capsules I put it in. I make it myself. Um, I'll have a video on that here in probably a month or two. But the CBG I use is very highly potent. I want to get it tested, see what it's actually at, because if this does work, people need to know what potency they need. Um, what we got here, Matt? I've seen some promising studies on Fenben from doctors you've spoken to from the doctors. How many on these studies, and do you think? So my doctors, my surgeon is all for, hey, go ahead and try it. She wants to keep a close monitor on me. Um, right now we're at every 2 months. Um, so that's the most support I've gotten. My oncologist, honestly, I won't go back to, um, unless I hear that he's truly getting there and starting to look into the um, what do you call it? The alternative and naturopath stuff. I just can't go back. He even says that my neuropathy is not from the treatment, which is BS. So doctors, it that's a hard one. I do recommend anybody that is going to do an alternative treatment, though, whatever it may be, still mention it to your doctors or your surgeons. Get somebody on your side. Like I said, my surgeon is all for getting me uh, MRIs and CAT scans. So that's a big thing right there. We have any more questions here? We're getting a couple more people. We're up to 16. Um, there we go. Yasmin. CBG has been doing amazing for anxiety and pain. I hope it does work for you. I'm praying. Yeah, I mean, me too. Thank you. Um, if you put into like Google CBG and cancer, you're going to find studies from the 70s on that one. That is actually one they found to start blocking mRNA back in the 70s, and also it was shrinking tumors. And they actually found it really good for rectal cancer or colorectal cancer. So yeah, I'm hoping it works too. I think that I truly can contribute it to my original being clear back in May or June. Um, I I I don't know. I'm a big believer in cannabis products and hemp and everything. I believe it was put on earth for a reason. And being that we can use it pretty much in its natural state without completely changing it, there's something to that. Um, just never know. I like this person's screen name, Common Sense. It's exactly what I try to use on that stuff. Um, but let me get back to Maddie here. Ivermectin, yes, I've seen that about tumor growth. Once again, I'm trying not to cloud it up too much, but I've also been reading ivermectin is turning out to be something they're leaning towards it for rectal cancer as well. I think that being rectal cancer, and like I originally said, um, parasites being part of the problem or is the problem. I don't know exactly because I'm definitely not a scientist or a doctor, but in my mind, with the parasites that I've seen, um, I believe that the colorectal cancers are parasitic. So ivermectin and fenbendazole, I mean, it obviously that would be why they should be working. Um, if the fenbendazole does not continue to work or really start to show progress, I may introduce ivermectin. I'm just very hesitant on that right now. Um, Ivermectin, there's a lot of stuff out there on it though, so it is promising. Um, I heard that common sense says I heard cancer is not a parasite, but there's some medications that treat parasites where medicine doesn't know whether it's a parasite or not, so it still attacks. Yeah, I've seen actually there was one study I read about. It's not really a study; it was just something a doctor actually put out. And instead of saying treating for parasites, he kept using the word that it was like chemo, the fenbendazole, which was very interesting because that he was trying to he was the first things he mentioned was pinworms though in his article, and then he goes into trying to just talk about the ivermectin, or sorry, not the ivermectin, but the fenbendazole working like a chemo. That's kind of when I decided that maybe chemo is just killing parasites. Maybe that radiation that is pinpointed onto a tumor is just killing parasites. When they started pinpointing that radiation on my tumor, after about 3 weeks, I pooped out. I'm telling you, something about that big looked like a group of parasites. There's been people say, oh no, that's just mucus, this and that, whatever. Well, in my mind, that thing looked exactly like the little rice spectacles or particles in my poop that I originally seen. So, I think that doctor was just trying to say the way he was saying it so he didn't lose a license. But really, I think he was pushing that the fenbendazole has some kind of property that is going to help. So let me get to Maddie. So catch me up. You had chemo and surgery. Why are you? Okay, so I did not have surgery. I gotta get that straight. I had chemo radiation, but never surgery. Surgery is what preempted this. So when I went in for my checkup there in December, that's when they said I need surgery because they found new growth or recurrence. So that's why. That it sounds like I had surgery. My wife is here now. Come on and sit down. She's not a very she's not photogenic in her mind. She's very shy, so give her a second. She'll definitely probably not come about. She pushed the chair as far over as she could, but I've got swivel here. Say hi, Terry.
Hi.
Okay. Mrs. Tony Miller. So Terry's not. If I get behind on these questions, she's gonna help me keep up with them. So how did I manage to go zero sugar? I can't do it. It's not easy. That's probably, they said that sugar is addictive. I believe it. I believe that you have that urge to always want sugar. So what I'm doing is, I know it's not great for you, but any kind of artificial sweeteners like monk fruit but monk fruit still has carbs. You got to be careful there. Keeping the sugar down is not easy. I do a lot of sweet tea that is not sugar. It's sugar free, of course. So that's how I do that. Okay, now they're coming in a little faster than I can keep up with.
I'm not single.
You're not single? No. Who, me or you?
Me.
Oh, you're not single? Come on over here just a little bit. She's not coming, guys. Okay, so let's see. Parasites and cancer suck up iron. I don't know about that. That's beyond my research so far. eBay is an option. So I get my Fenben off of Amazon. I found that Scenair Labs. I know there's been some controversy against all of them. There's some fakes out there, but in my heart, I do believe the Scenair Lab is a good product. Just kinetic herbal testing. It definitely has it tests good on me, so I'm gonna stick with that. And that is the human grade. That is not the pet grade, but that's okay. I think it's all the same anyway.
Maddie wants you to share the photo of what you get and the link.
What's that?
Maddie wants you to share the photo of what you get and the link.
Oh, okay, there it is. Yeah, I did prepare myself. So this is the one I use. And I take 3 of these capsules twice a day. That's what I'm doing for now. What's that?
Off Amazon.
This is off Amazon. Yes. So I ended up getting the last one. They have 180 capsules. These go pretty quick. So yeah, that's what I use there. So yeah, back to the sugar thing. A lot of people are asking about that. You just got to do it. You just got to go cold turkey. Everything has a little bit of sugar. It's a lot of times you'll see something that says less than 1 gram of sugar. I try to avoid those ones still, but on occasion you just got to give in a little bit. But I still keep my sugar down to about 1 gram a day is what I'm estimating. I don't think it's ever been for the last 2 weeks over 2 grams. The carbs, they're not always easy either, but you do have the net carbs that will not convert to sugar. So that's also a little bit, you got to watch that. But yeah, lots of eggs, meat, some cheeses that there's, yellow cheeses, not so much. The white hard cheeses seem to have a lot less or 0 carbs and sugar. So that's kind of my vice. not advice, but vice. Yeah, I'm sure she loves her hair colors too. It may be different next time you see her. Um, let's see. Yes, parasites, not so Dr. Lee Merritt. So Jilly says that they don't look for parasites when testing for cancer. Um, and you don't find something you're not looking for. Yep, exactly. Every time I brought up parasites, I was dismissed. Everything completely just ignored. I mean, I had the baggie full of parasites. They didn't want nothing to do with it. They had pictures. They didn't even want to look at them. So yeah, you're right. There's something going on that's not right about that. And I don't know what it is, but that's why it definitely leans towards, maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I'm right.
Did you have sugar withdrawals?
Sugar withdrawals? Oh, man. Just a lot. That's come back to where my sweet tea comes into play. I have 2 of those a day. Um, that's the only way I manage. Only way.
What about broccoli, spinach, and Brussels sprouts?
Broccoli, spinach, and Brussels sprouts. So the Brussels sprouts have high carbs. I don't know about the net carbs. I need to look into that a little bit more. We stick to mainly leafy greens. They're probably the lowest that I could find so far. And those are still, I love Brussels sprouts. Don't get me wrong. I can eat Brussels sprouts all day long, but just, cook them in butter and salt them, and I'm good to go. But that's something I need to look into, just because I can add to my food for sure.
I think you need to address the one that said that she'd rather die than have the bag.
Rather die than have the bag. Well,
they've come a long ways. Though.
They've come a long ways. I don't want to die. I'd rather have the bag than die myself. But I've got a tattoo right here. It says, "Live by what's right for you," and that's how I live. I tell everybody, hey, whatever your choice is, your choice. I'd still rather have the bag than die. If I have to, I mean, if this doesn't work and it starts to multiply, and I think it's going to be out of control, I will be in surgery as soon as possible. I mean, my surgery is actually scheduled for March 20th, just in case on March 4th they do find something. It's not so much about fear. It's more so about having it on the schedule so we can get it taken care of immediately if needed. On March 4th, if they don't find anything, or things are still the same or just slightly a little bit larger, I will postpone that surgery once again. I'm not going to sit here and worry about surgery, but I'm going to worry about trying to get this beat. That's my main thing.
Do you use cream or milk?
I drink coffee black. Hate to say it, some people disagree with this. I don't. I may do a lot of caffeine, but I do a full pot of coffee a day. Now, Terry, on the other hand, she loves her dairy-free creamer because it just helps her.
Have you been in the military? Did you get the COVID shot?
Oh, okay. So no military, no COVID shot, limited vaccines. I did, when I went in for my chemo, before chemo, I did get the influenza, and that one's a lifetime, I'm told. And the pneumonia shot. The reason for the pneumonia shot, and mind you, this was after finding out about cancer. The reason for the pneumonia shot is my mom, when I was 5, she died of, she had breast cancer and died of pneumonia. So, the fear mongering definitely got me there. But those are my 2 main vaccines since childhood.
And Maddie wants to know about your CEA numbers again.
So CEA, the last one in the video that I produced last time, I was down to 1.5. That's the lowest it's ever been on any CEA results I could find. We had a couple bounce down to like 1.8, but generally speaking, they were in the 2.8s to 3s. So that's where the CEA was.
I'd like to go back to the milk, because you said just in coffee, but you use the other milks for other things.
Yeah, okay. So the milk, I don't use creamer in coffee. I use so I limit my milk intake, but like the back to that, it's the white cheeses is where it comes in. I do a little bit of ranch, and it's low. It's only got, I think, 1 carb and less than 1 gram of sugar.
Almond milk.
Almond milk has 0 of everything that we use. Um, so yeah, that's kind of that. But those, Terry can't do dairy, so that's why she puts what she puts in her coffee. But I don't necessarily use that.
What's the dangerous numbers of CEA? I think each person's different.
Yeah, so actually what I'm reading on CEA is it's what CEA test they did, and what method they used is how they rate it. This one, they say the normal range is 1 to 1 or 0 to 5.0, and my oncologist nurse, she said everybody's a little bit different. I've seen CEAs where people have posted up into the 800-900s. I'm guessing that is on a different scale, but they're claiming that the CEA is how they measure the tumor. I believe they said the tumor growth, but don't quote me on that one. I just know that CEA is just a way that they measure the tumor. I think the progress essentially. So I'm just happy that it's down. That's my big one.
Do you measure GKI, ketones, and glucose?
No, I don't measure the GKI, ketones, and glucose. I'm not sure about what that all entails. I don't, as far as my blood test, I don't, actually the glucose was in there. Yes, it was. I don't think the ketones were though. My glucose came back normal on my last blood test I did do.
Yes, I love oat milk in my coffee, but it's too many carbs.
Yeah, so she said, yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear Terry because she's kind of over there mumbling. She said yes, she loves the oat milk, but she's not using it because it is high carb. So you got to be cautious there. Anything with oats is high carb, and that I believe is going to go straight to sugar.
What is your first symptoms, and did you reflect and think you had other symptoms you did not correlate to the cancer?
Oh, so yeah, let's talk about that. So first of all, my first symptom was my wife for many years bugging me and saying I should get a colonoscopy. Probably 5 years of that, and I should have listened to her, of course. But the true symptoms is the constant urge to use the restroom, which turned into more diarrhea. Then towards the end, probably right before my colonoscopy, that's when I actually started to get the blood in my stool. The other symptom was that for about 6 months, I watched my weight diminish. I lost about 20 pounds. That was a big one. Energy started to drop off. That's another big one.
Lost weight.
Yeah, the lost weight, energy, bloody stool. They thought I had something else going on, and they were definitely looking at like the gallbladder and stuff like that. But ultimately, you just got to get pre-screened. Don't, I have it in my history, my family history. My grandfather, when I was 5 as well, my mom's dad, he died of what we're guessing is colorectal cancer. All I've been told is when they opened him up, he was full of cancer.
There's a lot in here.
I know the questions are coming fast.
Pretty much the same thing every day, and do you have more gas than usual?
Do what now?
Do you eat the same thing every day and have more gas than usual?
So no, the gas is not really. I don't have any more gas than I ever have. I do eat a lot of the same thing. My normal is a omelet in the morning with, like spinach and mushrooms, and then some cheese, white cheeses. But the gas really hasn't changed any. Some people say that, just like my wife, she's eating differently now, and things that used to make her gassy are not making her gassy now. It's kind of interesting because she thinks it might be the carbs that she cut out that might have been making her gassy, but I don't know for sure.
How will you know if the fenbendazole has killed all the parasites?
So
how the therapeutic dose was achieved?
So I don't know how to answer that really. Do we ever know that all the parasites are dead? Uh,
No.
I'm not sure on that. And can we constantly be getting parasites just from the atmosphere, dirt,
Yeah.
dust, anything that we breathe? I believe so, you know. So I don't know that you ever get rid of parasites. I do know that there are a lot
Gas
of
before you were diagnosed, she said.
oh, before. Sorry, what was that? How do you know Fenbendazole care?
No, well, this goes back to the gas question.
Oh, but no, there is a protocol for fenbendazole after you clear. And some people say you got to stay on it for life. So, you know, that speak up so they can hear you.
Gas before you were diagnosed.
Gas before I was diagnosed.
Did you have more than usual?
Did I have more gas than usual? This was almost 2 years ago, so, or a year and a half ago. So it's hard to remember. And chemo brain, by the way, is a real thing, or chemo fog. The gas, I don't remember on gas, honestly. I know during treatment it was bad, but I don't remember prior to. Actually, you know what? Yes, it was increased because I was taking a lot of gas X. Now that I think about it,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, that that definitely was there. You got another?
Have you ever advised other family members to get a colonoscopy?
Do what?
Have you
Advised other family members to get a colonoscopy? Yes. Um, Definitely, I tell everybody actually, not just family members. If I meet somebody on the street and they told me that they had, oh yeah, my grandfather had colon cancer, and I ask them, how old are you? And they go 39. I'm like, you're supposed to already been 4 years ago getting your colonoscopies, get it scheduled. And I've had numerous people tell me that they've gotten their colonoscopies scheduled just because of my uh, Facebook posts and YouTube videos.
You ever heard of a vibration plate for your neuropathy?
I've heard of the vibration plate. I've not. I don't. I mean, I've heard of it in the past. That's what I'm gonna go with on that one. Um, I understand why it would work as you speak about that. Any sensation they say will help bring the nerves back a little bit, or deaden them, or not deaden them, but desensitize. Um, my family practitioner, basically, that's what he told me the other day, is just got to work on desensitizing it now. Um, so yeah, it may help. I do red light therapy. They're little slippers I put on that's supposed to help promote blood flow, heats up your foot as well. And then yesterday I just got these wraps for my legs, for my calves only, and they squeeze it constantly with air. And I don't know if it'll work or not there. It's supposed to promote blood flow, but it does feel amazing. It feels really good on the calf.
Neurocardio.
And it'll help my neurocardiogenic syncope. Yeah, say that 10 times fast.
Do you ever have? Did you ever have an endoscopy? No.
Endo? Yeah, I did have endoscopy the same day I had my colonoscopy.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I did, and
What
that
was the
one showed
result?
clear.
And do you crush up your Fenben yet?
Let me show you. So the answer to the question about crush up my Fenben, it's just a capsule, and that's already crushed. It's just a powder. I don't know. You probably can't see the powder flying around in there, but that's just powder Fenben. So I don't have to crush. I'm not taking the pills. I'm taking capsules. Got another?
Some plant-based cheeses are disgusting.
I don't know if my wife just made a comment or was reading a comment, but plant-based.
I made a comment on the comment.
Okay, she was making a comment on whoever asked about plant-based.
No, they said
cheeses.
Plant-based cheeses are really good. Some are
Oh, she says that plant-based. Actually,
some.
She says some of the plant-based cheeses, she says, smell like farts. So she's not a big she's not big on that. Now you do, Maddie, have to be cautious. You're going to find that because of the kind of oils they use, there's a lot of carbs in plant-based cheeses, especially. I mean, that's one of the ones we looked into a lot. So
Kylie wants you to show Tink.
well, my daughter's on here. I think she's supposed to be at work, but this is Tinkerbell. This is one of our little ones. She's a 3-pound Brussels Griffon, and Hank's around here somewhere. So, since we're doing show and tell, this is Hank. You'll see him on a lot of my videos, and he's my he was supposed to be my I beat cancer dog, so now I got to beat cancer again, and I will beat it. And he goes everywhere showing houses with me.
Do you watch the Thomas Seyfried video on cancer feeding on glucose and glutamine?
No, I do not watch that video on about glucose and glutamine, but I want to say something about that. That one was interesting. Somebody, one of you made a comment about glutamine on my one of my videos, and I was sitting there eating breakfast and I read that and I looked up at the pills that I was taking. I haven't been taking for a long time. And one of the pill bottles sitting there that one of my, I think it was the oncologist told me to take. I look at it and I kid you not, it's glutamine. I don't know what's up with that. I'm sure it's the same thing, but I'm glad I stopped taking that. But what are they doing? I mean, if I need to research that one more because I don't understand why it's taking glutamine if cancer feeds off of it.
What do you eat for lunch and supper?
So
Usually.
lunch and supper. Lunch, I mean, sometimes we'll have a steak, fish, just bare fish. I know you're all gonna beat me up for this one. We love sushi. We won't quit sushi, but we're taking a dewormer, so it's not like it's gonna get any worse there. She doesn't ever want me doing lunch meats again. Terry highly tells me not to ever.
It's the preservatives.
It's the preservatives in it she's worried about. I'll do chicken breast, chicken legs, chicken wings, anything but pork, essentially, is what I eat. Don't really eat a lot of turkey. I'm not a big fan of it. We do also have deer and elk in our freezer from hunting. So dinners, same thing. I mean, my dinners, my lunches can be the same thing. Leafy green salad, like I said, ranch with either no carbs or one carb, stuff like that.
Have you considered high dose vitamin C intravenously?
I have. It's a lot expensive to do high dose vitamin C. The high dose vitamin C, I've seen it work for a friend of mine who did RSO and high dose vitamin C. There is a place here in town that does do it. I just, $400 a pop, it gets a little bit expensive. And I know that a lot of people say, oh, just take the vitamin C, but your body still can only absorb so much through the stomach and intestines before you're just peeing it out. So yeah, it has to be in the vein. It definitely does.
Are you pretty much carnivore?
Yes, pretty close to carnivore. Hoping I don't have a stroke from eating all this meat. You know, and they say one of the things that to do to curb the hunger and to give you energy is eat more fat, animal fats. Of course, that's what we always been taught not to do. But I do love meats. I found a jerky the other day. Oh my gosh. It's a teriyaki jerky, and I spit out the first bite because I thought it had sugar in it, and had to sit there and read the bag, make sure it didn't. And it was monk fruit in that one, I believe. No, Sarah, I don't remember which one. It had a sweetener in it, but it was extremely sweet. But yeah, mainly carnivore. That's kind of where I've routed myself towards.
Maddie wants you to watch the video of Dr. Berkowitz with Dr. Bing. It's excellent.
Okay, we can. As soon as I find time to watch more videos, I definitely can do that, Maddie. Thank you.
And she said, what is a dewormer? She agrees with no lunch meats or processed foods. Thank you, Maddie.
The dewormer is the fenbendazole. So the fenbendazole is a dewormer. That is the original dog dewormer.
Do you ever look into OMAD and bromelain, papain?
Jane's 55. No, I have not. Organ meat. I'm not huge on it. I know that it does pack in a lot of protein, a lot of nutrients. Organ meat, I need to try it some more. I've had my fair opportunity to have plenty of it out of all the animals I've harvested. The heart is probably the one I like the most, if anything. Now chicken liver gizzards, well, gizzards not really probably, well, gizzards just a grinder, but chicken gizzards and hearts, that's probably my favorite. Organic, well, that's a tricky one. Um, Unless it's US organic, it probably not to US standards of organic. Um, you're probably just, there's sometimes you're just as well off with just what's on the grocery store, in my opinion. One of the things about vegetables or even meats, the smaller it is, probably the less likely it is to have hormones and um, any of the growth hormones and stuff in it. So, like they say that, when you get an ear of corn this big, it's not going to be good for you. But the ear of corn that's this big, the traditional Indian corn, that's going to be better for you, type of thing. Not that I eat corn, but the smaller the vegetable, the better. Actually, I don't go for just the biggest all the time in the store. I just look for what grew naturally, type of look. The deer and elk, the deer in Arizona and elk in Arizona where I hunt, typically they're probably pretty organic. Where I got a couple deer from in Indiana, I don't know if they're organic. They spray those soybeans they with chemicals all year round. They're injecting fertilizers, so I don't know if that's completely organic anymore.
Oh, Matt is 1 meal a day, intermittent fasting.
Oh no, I don't do fasting. I I've heard about fasting. I understand that people, do it. I I I think that part of fasting is you fast because you can't control what your intake of sugar is. That was my opinion of it anyway. It doesn't necessarily mean that's true, just like anything else. But you know, I'm not. I just don't want to starve. I still got to eat something.
Will you be doing changes to your protocol?
A protocol. I mean, it's already evolved a little bit. For one, when I started my Fenbendazole, I was doing 3 capsules a day. Then I increased it one week by one more, and then I increased it the next week by another, and then another. So now I'm up to the 6. I think that 6 is a good number. Um, I I go with what my body and my gut feel is. Um, if you listen to your body, you won't necessarily overdose. If you're not listening to your body and you're sitting there getting gassy and you're getting stomach pains, you might be taking too much for your body. So um, that's kind of where I go with the protocol that I'm making for myself. Um, it just my CBG. I sometimes think that what happened is I cut back on my CBG. I I actually went down to 1 pill a day after I got cleared, and that may be why I had a reoccurrence. I don't know, but yeah, I think a protocol could always be evolving.
Do you know if Fenben is helpful for other types of cancer?
So Finben, there's some there. Of course, there's limited research. The government's not going to help us on this. This is the only reason I'm doing this. This is the reason I'm asking people to come on to the show. That's why I'm asking people to get their word out. Without us doing it, there is no research. So Finben, though, the guy who reminded me, and I'm going to have him on the show eventually here. He has a brain, or had a brain tumor, I should say. This brain tumor was pretty giant. I would say it looked like it was probably in the just under a baseball size. And he sent me the before and after images, and that thing is gone. I've heard it's working for pancreatic. I've heard it's working for lung. I've heard it's working, but I don't know every one of those firsthand, but that's what I've heard it works for. I've also heard it's one of the original ones that was found for it was Lyme disease. I just read that this morning. Um, so I mean that's promising too. So yeah, I do your own research on that. If you have a certain cancer, look at what I did is I put in rectal cancer, fenbendazole. I keep my search terms down pretty low and just see what pops up and look at like PubMed, look at um, medicine journals that are legitimate, not, just you every comment out there, because not all of them are going to be good.
Have you researched the low histamine diet?
The low histamine diet, I think we've done that for you once upon a time a little bit. Not really. That's not something I've looked into on low histamine.
Why Fenben, not ivermectin?
So Fenben was what, and so why Fenben, not ivermectin? The Fenben I was drawn to because of so many people recommending it to me. The ivermectin, that one I just started hearing about since I started producing these videos. I understand each one's going to work for a different parasite. Um, Ivermectin really got more popular after COVID. Um, I don't know a lot about it yet. I mean, I've done limited research on it, but like I said, you got to choose one. You can do both, I've heard. There's some protocols that people are doing where it involves both of them, but I'd really like to try to just focus on one. I mean, lab rats, if you kept shooting every single thing at lab rats, you would never know what works. So, basically we are the lab rats. We are the subjects.
What are your thoughts about 1 in 2 Americans getting cancer in their lifetime?
So, 1 of 2 Americans getting cancer in their lifetime. I not sure if that's a adequate um, assessment. I did have and I think I've mentioned this in the past, someone from Zimbabwe got a hold of me and they said that they treat for cancer,
Not cancer.
or not cancer, sorry, parasites yearly or bi-yearly. And I looked up what's the cancer rate in Zimbabwe. It was 100 out of every 100,000. And or no, sorry, 200 out of every 100,000. And in the US, I looked it up and it said it was 400 out of every 100,000. As many people as I know with cancer, I think it could definitely be more. I don't think it's every 1 in 2 though, but you know, I who knows? I mean, and what kind of cancers are we talking? Because you could be talking just a melanoma that one person gets that's only, not even life threatening or anything, and they get it cut off and they're done. So that could be it.
Will you continue Fenben for life?
So continuing Fenben for life.
On the results?
I probably would do some kind of protocol if I can get it clear. One person mentioned in the comments that the cancer was never gone. That's why you had a reoccurrence. Well, if the parasites are never gone, maybe that's why you never have or that's why you have a reoccurrence. They start multiplying again. I probably would do some kind of protocol throughout the rest of my life as long as it's available. I do predict at some point in the future here that we're not going to be able to get fenbendazole or ivermectin if this stuff is actually working.
ALA and HCA together would be what I would suggest you look into adding to your protocol.
ALA
and HCA.
I will write that down and I can go through these notes later, but I'll look into that, see what it is. I've not heard of that yet.
And Jane Z said it's an official figure, 1 and 2. You can Google it.
Yeah, you can Google anything, unfortunately, but yeah. Let me get some more water here. I'm about out of breath here. So I'm gonna give this about another 11 minutes. Shut off at 9:30 our time. Is anybody from not the US on right now? It's always interesting just to see. And what other questions do you have? Some of these questions I may have to pull out of here and do a whole video on them. Sylvania, that's cool. But yeah, overall, I think that this is working. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist or nothing like that. I'm just a normal guy doing what I can for myself and letting everybody know exactly. Um, I'm just reading the comments.
I love it.
So I'm doing what I can for myself. And I want to put it out there what's happening to me and what I'm experiencing, so that way other people in the world can make up their own mind. That's what it really comes down to. Um, you know, I'm not saying that I have a cure, but if it cures me and people just happen to know about it, I don't think that's a bad thing. And if you guys know somebody, or if you yourself are doing fenbendazole, and you would like to come on here and talk with me, I would absolutely love it. Um, that is like my main goal, to get more people than just me, and talking and testifying what they're experiencing. But the problem I've been having, the people I've talked to in the past, they're doing so many things, and fenbendazole has been such a small part of what they were doing. And so you don't have a clear view of if that's what it was, or if it was the 20 other things they were doing. um Back to, that's why I'm trying to keep it pretty basic.
You worry about your pets getting cancer?
um
Always.
Terry says always on pets getting cancer. Yeah, we always worry about that. Someone goes, well, I actually got that comment once, and they said, oh, well, pets get treated with fenbendazole already and they get cancer. Well, they do, but how often were they treated with fenbendazole? What other um, um, vaccines and stuff did they get?
What food are they on?
What food are they on? I mean, there's so many factors in that one. So I don't know that one, as far as fenbendazole and dogs having cancer, has any correlation. But yeah, we always worry about that. I mean, they're obviously our babies. She's over there cuddling with Tinkerbell right now. Not that you can see her because she's still hiding from everybody. You can see. Um, Pets are definitely a part of our family.
Wes thinks you're on the right path.
I appreciate what. There's seems to be a lot of people thinking I'm on the right path. Um, you know, uh, Over what 120,000 people have watched these videos already. I get tons of comments, and I mean, some of them are horrible, but you got to be thick-skinned. I'm pretty thick-skinned. I can take just about anything they throw at me. Um, I mean, about once a week, I have people telling me I'm gonna die, so it's all good. Um, I just you can't let fear take control of this. Um, I want to talk about fear real quick. So I went on to my GTP or GPT chat, and I was trying to do an AI to get a video started about the government, or not the government, but how doctors instill fear. And um, the more I typed, I just put in there, they're trying to cover or hide this. They're trying to keep you scared, so you'll do what they want. And I pushed to make me a skit, and the first thing that the chat does, the AI, is says that it will not do that for me because of it was false information and all this. So even AI is trained not to think outside the box and to definitely go along with just what the government's telling us to do. I think your low carb is the reason. So this Imperial Wesley put, I think the low carb is the reason why your CA is lower than when you beat cancer the first time, which is good. Yeah, it is good. But I had just begun that. I don't think I didn't, not even for a week when I got my CA tested, right? Probably.
Hey,
Yeah, she can't remember, but I think, I mean, unless it affects it that quickly, but yeah, I hadn't been on the low carb and no sugar very long before they drew my blood on that one. But hey, you never know. Either way, low is low.
has your carnivore diet impacted your cognitive function in a positive way?
That's brain function, right? Cognitive functioning. Well, let's see. There's less sugar to the brain, so um, with the chemo fog, it's hard to say. It really is. I don't know that it's made me any more creative or give me more deep thought or anything like that. The green tea is good. Um, a lot of people on the fenbendazole, and I think this goes back to not listening to their body. A lot of people on fenbendazole are experiencing liver problems, um, as far as like it not functioning properly. And my liver function is really good. I do green tea on occasion. You can feel when your liver gets hard right here and starts hurting when you press on it. I just drink green tea. In a day or so, that goes down, and I'm fine again. So the green tea is good. I don't know what the berbene is, but the green tea I do, and I just like the taste of it too. Sugar free, of course, and I don't even use sweetener in that. A lot of my teas, other than my sweet tea, which is just my vice, um, I drink coffee and tea just pretty much plain. Grape seed extract, haven't done that. I know there's a lot of people that do, um, but I don't. Yeah, Glow, it's insane. I think they really have everything trained. Um, let's see. Yeah, and I appreciate all your guys's thanks for me putting this out there. And like I said, it's not that I don't need the. I mean, I love the thanks, of course. Don't get me wrong, but the thanks I get is watching people say they're going to go get the colonoscopies. They're going to look into things. They're not going to be fearful. Just the fear is what you need to watch for. So Jane Z55, yeah, there's a lot of everything that I'm taking is pretty much an anti-inflammatory as well. Even the fenbendazole I've been told is a anti-inflammatory. The turmeric, the CBG, the CBD, the what else am I taking that's an anti-inflammatory? Pretty much everything that I ended up looking at is an anti-inflammatory, which really piqued my curiosity about that. So um,
What are you doing? Vitamins and minerals?
Vitamins and minerals.
Calcium.
I do. I got stuff prepared here. My dad asked me to do this, the coral calcium, mainly for my neuropathy. So I do that. I do one whole whopping vitamin E a day. Of course, that's good for cell growth as well. And then I do clear lungs. This has got a lot of pepper in it, I believe.
Yeah.
The reason I do that is I get walking pneumonia every year. And after I came back from Indiana in November, I just could not shake this cough I had. Then I got whatever's going around that I'm sure the government's going to tell us what it is here pretty soon. I got that, and that cough got worse, so I take that. Now I know that pepper, I've been told, also is helping with absorption of like the fenbendazole and the turmeric. And blood pressure, of course. So we got just a couple minutes left here. See if there's anything else real quick that I can answer. But anyway, I'm going to try to schedule these again. For right now, I'm going to try to do every Saturday at 8:30 in the morning in Arizona. So that's Arizona time zone. We get our own. So if you guys want to tune in, set a reminder. I think I posted it right this time so everybody could see when I was going to do this. I hope that helped people get on.
Wes wants to know when your next test is.
Yeah, Wes, real quick. Yeah, my next stuff is March 4th. So we'll have a MRI and a flex sig. So they'll be taking samples, I'm sure. But yeah, tune in next Saturday, 8:30 Arizona time, and we'll keep answering questions. Try to get my reader over here is doing great because there's no way I could have kept up with all of you guys. I definitely appreciate all of your guys' support. I appreciate you guys signing in today and watching and bearing through my mumbling. Um, and if you guys have any questions, always feel free in the comments to let me know or ask questions, and I get to every one of them eventually. I'm answering about 400 a week, it seems, but I can do it. So you guys keep asking questions. If we need to talk, I will shoot you my number if you have that many questions or concerns. You guys have a great day. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk at you next time.